Hello, welcome to the first ever Dark Green Weight podcast. I'm Harry Ford. Joining me today, we've got Brandon Mills.
Hello.
And Harry Pos Postlethwaite.
Hello.
Don't sound too enthusiastic, Pos.
All right.
Yeah, it's always good. Good to open with a bit of excitement and enthusiasm. Because we just know the people listening are just going to be as enthused as you are. Right, so we thought we'd start off with the Oscars. The Oscars a few weeks ago. I don't know why I said a few weeks ago. I've suddenly gone really northern. So
They were a few weeks ago.
Yeah, a few weeks ago. It was a reet good night. And me and Pos, we've seen, I think, all of them. Brandon, you've not seen many, have you?
I've seen. If you list them off, I will tell you.
All
what I've
right,
seen.
we've got Birdman.
Nope.
Whiplash.
Nope.
Selma.
Nope.
Theory of Everything.
Nope.
It's going well so far. Boyhood.
Nope.
Imitation Game.
Nope.
American Sniper.
Yes.
And Grand Budapest Hotel.
Nope.
Oh,
Right, so
I will eventually watch.
So-
I probably will eventually watch Selma. Like that seems interesting to me, and also Birdman. I kind of want to watch Birdman.
All right, well, let's
And
go.
The Theory of Everything. That kind of seems interesting to me as well.
All right, well, let's go through. Me and Pos, we've seen them.
Yeah.
So, Birdman, big winner for night. What did it win on? Best film?
Best film, best achievement in directing,
Yeah.
best cinematography, which
Script, I think,
was
original screenplay. I think
yes,
it won. Yeah.
yes, it did.
And I think that's about it, wasn't
That was all of Birdman's ones. It won some pretty.
it? Yeah.
won
So
big
what
ones.
do you think, Birdman?
I enjoyed Birdman, but I can honestly say I don't think it deserved to win best film.
It's an odd winner, isn't it?
Yeah,
When I
it's
watched
very
it,
un-Oscar-like.
yeah, when I watched Birdman, as I was watching, I just thought this is an odd Oscar film. It's sort of a weird kind of comedy, kind of
It's
drama.
almost an indie film, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got like Michael Keaton going mental, and just like imagining like
Yeah.
buildings blowing up and becoming a bird,
You've got
and like
Ed Norton
It kind of sounds
being
interesting.
just an arsehole.
Yeah,
which is I enjoyed. I thought. Ed Norton
yeah,
was good.
the acting was good. For ages, I was dead set on Eddie Redmayne, and then right before the Oscars, I thought Keaton could win it. I reckon he had a
It
chance.
was between those two for certain.
But yeah, it was a good film. It was enjoyable, but it's an odd Oscar winner.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. Boyhood, I thought. Was,
Yeah, I mean,
was a
Boyhood.
certainty,
I thought Boyhood was the best film. It's
Yeah.
as simple as I thought it was. I mean, there's this weird backlash against it now. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people, some people think it's whitewashed, which I think is ridiculous because
It's-
it's set in rural Texas. It's about a white family. That's
Yeah.
just what it's going to be. And then some people just think it's boring, which I think's it's a bit of a sort of shallow view of it, really. I think
I
it's.
thought it was an interesting take on
Yeah, I thought
on
it
just
was.
life. Really, it was stunningly realistic.
It was amazingly
very good,
realistic.
yeah.
You know, even when like there's that really bizarre scene where for his birthday, it's like grandparents get him a shotgun.
Yeah,
And it's really weird as someone from Leeds to watch that. It was
It's-
bizarre. And yet you can sort of still relate to
it was
the general
it was set
ideas.
as we were at the same time we were growing up. We will have been only 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
younger than
exactly.
Ed Norton when
It
being-
was, a lot of it felt like my life, really. And I
Yeah.
thought that was incredible. And the acting was just like,
You
It was
felt like you
fantastic.
lived in
It's
rural
Richard-
Texas and got a shotgun for your birthday.
well, I do have a weird family.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, the acting I thought was great. Patricia Arquette obviously
Yeah.
won supporting actress, and fairly deservedly, I thought.
I
thought it was
enjoyed
good.
Ethan Hawke as.
I love Ethan
his
Hawke.
dad.
I think he's so underrated.
Yeah,
You know,
think this film he deserved. Did he get nominated?
he got a nomination, yeah, and
Oh,
he
at
lost
least-
to who won Best Supporting?
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Which is-
Well,
okay, fair
we'll
enough.
move on to Whiplash. Then Whiplash, second favourite for me. Loved Whiplash.
Whiplash was my favourite film, even though I don't think it was the best film.
Yeah.
I loved J.K. Simmons.
Jake Simmons as sort of Ali Ermey in Full
Yeah.
Metal Jacket,
It was
just
so-
going
it was
crazy.
so similar. You could tell that. Well, I would assume that he's studied Ali Ermey in that.
Yeah,
film.
you think so. He
Thought,
was
this is what
basically
I
a
do.
drill instructor.
Yeah.
I loved Whiplash. It was kind of. I did laugh at times, J.K. Simmons, how ridiculously sort of full on he gets, but it's. Oh, it was a really great film. Miles Teller, I thought, was amazing as
Yeah,
well.
he's got a big future ahead of him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
only,
If
what,
in a
20,
worse
early
year,
20s.
he would have got a nomination.
Yeah.
But it was just a great year. All right, so American Sniper, Brandon, you've seen
Yes,
it. So,
I can join in now.
so do you wanna? What do you think, of American Sniper?
Well, American Sniper, like, to begin with, I didn't even realise it was based on a true story. I didn't even realise Chris Kyle was even, like, a real person. I thought it was all, like, fictional. And I was like, oh, well, okay, I'll give it a watch, you know. So when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like, it's really interesting. Like, especially, like, it's all just set, like, I think it's Afghanistan. But it's, like, it's all set there, and it's all just, like, kind of, like, sad and kind of depressing, so like goes home, and it's like it's kind of, you've got that contrast of like he's stuck in the war, and it kind of shows you that like you don't really see that in many movies.
Yeah.
The way that it's kind of like portrayed properly. The one thing that did annoy me is that there is a scene where it's just he's holding a plastic doll.
Yeah, that's the one everyone's mentioned, hasn't
Yeah.
it? The plastic baby, which is noticeable. I mean, the story
It's
that
ridiculously noticeable. It's not even
yeah, I mean, the story is, I think, that both like babies they were going to use for it basically pulled out. I don't know whether their agent gave a call to Clint Eastwood saying, they're just not doing this. But yeah,
they said
so
that
that's
they want
why.
2 bottles of milk per shoot, but I think that we can only really go for the one, and Clint Eastwood were like, no milk, and then they were just like, oh no, sorry, Mr. Eastwood, we just cannot do it.
You feeling lucky, punk.
And the baby was like, wah. and that's why they pulled out, yeah.
Because they're sort of New York wise guy babies. They're good fella babies.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci babies. Yeah, no, American Sniper was better than I thought it was.
I really enjoyed it.
A lot of people found it too patriotic, and it is to an extent.
It is.
The scene,
It really
the 9/11 scene where he watches 9/11.
And it's just like, I need to join the army!
Yeah,
That's
I
kind
mean,
of just
if it was called G.I.
okay,
Joe, it was called G.I. Joe, I would have not have noticed the differences.
Yeah,
But-
that is
Like
just a bit
Chris.
like that's a bit
Yeah.
overplayed, really. It's
But,
just like, 9/11 terrorist attack, right? I'm going to join the army. I'm going to fight for my country. It's like nobody really does that.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a very American kind of film,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It was like he was a cowboy at the beginning.
Yeah.
Then 9/11,
Yeah.
freedom, shooting terrorists, and drinking beer. It was
yeah.
But Bradley Cooper, I thought was good in it because
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not a fan of
I
Bradley
really
Cooper.
do like Bradley Cooper.
See,
He's
I've
like
never
one
been
of
a
my
fan.
favourite actors.
Silver Linings Playbook, not a fan of. I
Love
thought
that film. That's an amazing film.
It's one of those films I think you either hate or love it, and I just do not like it, and I didn't
love it.
particularly like him.
Jennifer
And then
Lawrence is really good in it as well.
she was quite good. American Hustle, I wasn't a fan of at all.
Yeah, I didn't really like that.
But yeah, no, he really impressed
me.
me with this. Actually, I think a lot of people say he didn't deserve a nomination, but I wasn't that unhappy about it really. So what we got next? Selma.
Selma was a strange one.
And back to the quiet side.
So Selma was a strange one for me. I was underwhelmed by it a little bit. I thought that considering what it was about, I thought it'd be more impacting on
Yeah,
me.
I thought I'd be moved by it. And there were a couple of scenes. There was the scene, I think the first time we went on the march and the police turned up and kind of, I don't want to spoil it too much for you, Brandon. But yeah, that was quite effective. And there were some really good scenes, and like the final speech from Martin Luther King was great. And obviously David Oyelowo is amazing as Martin Luther King.
Oh, stunning.
Like, I was amazed. That's the first ever film about Martin Luther King, ever. Which is
Really?
weird, isn't it?
The first ever one?
First
Wow.
ever film made about Martin Luther
That's
King.
strange. That you...
Bizarre, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, one of the most sort of
I thought
powerful...
there'd been-
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's crazy,
really-
isn't it? It's,
I
it's
really
mental,
didn't know.
and the fact he didn't get nominated, I did think was a bit surprising, really, because I thought
That
it was
was quite
outstanding.
surprising.
Theory of Everything, big Oscar winner, best actor Eddie Redmayne.
I do not like that film.
Yeah,
I was quite upset that it was nominated for best film.
yeah. I think best original screenplay, not original, best adapted screenplay was weirder because it's not.
Did
a,
it win that? Or was it...
No, it was Imitation Game, which we'll come with later. Cause I have
Yes.
plenty to say about Imitation Game. Theory of Everything, Eddie Redmayne, outstanding.
Oh god,
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Because Stephen Hawking said in an interview there were times where he watched it and thought he was watching archive footage of himself. That's how close Eddie Redmayne was.
Yeah, it was
And
outstanding.
it was deserved winner. But the film itself was so standard. It was just
Average
A
at
to B.
best.
If you wanted to make a nice sort of cozy little romance, that was it.
It didn't
Nothing.
really focus too as much on his struggle.
No,
as
it
did
was him
on
and his wife.
On getting his wife cheating on him with a piano.
Yeah,
player.
and Felicity Jones nominated for I think best actress.
She's
Surprising.
a little overrated, I thought. her
Yeah,
performance.
definitely. So what we got next? Imitation Game. Should we save that for the end and say about Grand Budapest Hotel?
We're doing Budapest now.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
do Grand Budapest.
I loved that film. I really thought it's a fun film.
Yeah,
it's
very.
not just it's a lot different to the other Oscar films. A lot of the other ones are a bit dark or have dark
Very
scenes in
this
them.
year.
This one, it's a comedy, so obviously it's a bit different, but it's not a dark comedy. I think Ray Fiennes, I loved in it.
Ray
I thought it
Fiennes
was
incredible.
So funny.
I think he's such an incredible actor. You look at the films he's done, the range. In Bruges, plays sort of aggressive
Yeah.
Cockney gangster. Schindler's List, sort of hateful Nazi.
Yeah.
Incredible role. And then this, just sort of completely lovable.
A hotel.
A sort
lobby
of
guy.
a camp womanizing hotel owner. It was brilliant, and I love Wes Anderson anyway. And I think Budapest is probably up there with his best.
That was an intriguingly shot film as well. I thought. It was,
Yeah, I mean
Wes Anderson is
he's
good at that. Though.
He's so stylish, all
Yeah.
his films, but Grand Budapest especially was awesome.
Yeah.
So, Imitation Game last, which is a film I was not a fan of at all.
No, I did not like this film either.
I think the main thing that's irritated, and a lot of people picked up on it, is about Alan Turing, you know, persecuted as a gay man in the, I think it was the 50s. They arrested him, chemically castrated, killed himself years later. Really horrible, tragic story considering what he did.
Yeah.
You know, Winston Churchill said he was like one of the most important men in the war effort.
Yeah.
And the film mentions that for about 10 minutes, and the rest of it's just about the Enigma machine and about him being a bit autistic, essentially.
Yeah.
Just from what I've just heard from like what you've just said, it still kind of sounds like that they're trying to keep that bit that he was gay. Like they still try to sweep that under the rug a little bit.
That's what it felt like. It sort of felt like we don't want to be too controversial. We don't want to have a go at too many people. So we'll just say it was this random police officer who didn't actually exist. Because the Rory Kinnear character, the police officer who arrests him, is fictional. That's just written for the script. And he's the only one who does anything particularly bad in that film. It's very easy to be judgmental against a fictional character.
Yeah, that's it. I think I agree with Brandon. It does look like they're trying to sort of just...
But I haven't seen the film. And from what you've literally just said, like about the film, if that's everybody's outlook on the film, or even the people that do like it, like if they know the history of it, then I think that they're still going to notice that it's kind of swept under the rug a little bit there, which is a little bit weird.
It is. I mean, the acting, Benedict Cumberbatch was all right. He was Sherlock, but slightly nicer, basically. He was just being sort of genius autistic.
Sherlock.
I love Sherlock, love Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock, didn't love him as Alan Turing. And Keira Knightley, I'm sorry.
She's the same person.
Keira Knightley's played the same role since Bend It Like Beckham. Pirates of the Caribbean, she plays the posh woman, and that's it. Imitation Game, posh woman. Begin Again, a film I thought would be great because
Isn't she in Batman, like The Dark Knight Rises?
Is she?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't know who that is, actually.
Since I've seen that. I'm going to Google it now.
Anne Hathaway?
That's it, yeah.
Anne Hathaway, I prefer to Keira Knightley.
Yeah,
Begin Again, made by a guy who did once one of my favourite films, thought it'd be brilliant. Mark Ruffalo, brilliant actor, and Foxcatcher we can talk about as well.
Yeah.
But Keira Knightley, posh woman in that film. All she does is the posh woman. I've yet to see a single role where she does anything beyond posh totty. That's it. That's her one role.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the character have names anymore. It's just posh totty in the script. But
I don't remember her name.
Although, one good thing about Imitation Game, Charles Dance.
Because
Charles Dance. Now that he won't be in Game of Thrones, spoiler alert if you haven't caught up with the most popular show in the world, Charles Dance, you know, I want to see as much of him as possible, really, because he's one of the best actors ever, and I'll hear nothing bad about Charles Dance. He's amazing.
I have nothing bad to say about him, so don't worry.
He's awesome.
I think he's just awesome. Yeah, exactly. He's awesome.
So one of the films controversially didn't get Oscar nominated, but nominated quite a lot, and we didn't like Foxcatcher.
It's very dull.
I was incredibly bored by Foxcatcher. First hour, nothing happens.
Yeah.
And Channing Tatum, I quite liked. I don't mind Channing Tatum. Done a lot of rubbish, but I think he's all right.
He's making this slow transition into a more serious actor.
Did you ever see Side Effects with Jude Law?
I haven't, no.
He was quite good in that, but that was the first time I saw him and thought, Channing Tatum's not bad. He's not just in sort of rom-coms and bad comedies. And Foxcatcher, pretty good, I thought. Yeah. Steve Carell, overrated.
The face mask helped him.
He's all prosthetics.
He made it.
He looked like the Elephant Man. It was ridiculous.
That is true. That's fair.
And Mark Ruffalo, not bad, but it's
just the same. He's a consistently decent performer.
Yeah, I expect that kind of quality from him, really. But I'm still annoyed. Nightcrawler got very little.
Nightcrawler, I thought was one of the best films.
Only got, I think, one nomination screenplay, and I loved Nightcrawler. Last year, one of my favourites.
Jake Gyllenhaal was just incredible.
Yeah, he could replace Benedict Cumberbatch easily.
Yeah.
Probably Bradley Cooper, I'd say, and then I don't know. I think he easily could have.
He could have easily got into that.
But then loads of people, Ray Fiennes, I don't think got a nomination either. It's just the way it goes, I suppose.
They are quite picky. They go tend towards certain
biopics, Brit-pics. Yeah. But so the Oscars okay this year. The day before I made my predictions, I got 8 out of 11 main categories right, so it was a pretty standard year. But Birdman, I did think was a mistake, honestly.
I enjoyed it, but I agree that Boyhood should have won.
Definitely. So moving on now, Brandon. You've been
back out of the quiet corner.
So you've been watching a load of TV shows at the moment. I'm not watching too much, so why don't you tell us what you've been watching?
I'm super into my TV shows at the minute, although I still haven't seen the latest episode of Better Call Saul or Gotham or anything. I've missed out this week. But I have been watching like tons of it. I've been watching Better Call Saul, which we've all been watching, obviously.
Better Call Saul, yeah.
I've been watching Arrow, which is just one of my favourite TV shows. I've been watching The Flash, which is kind of a spin-off from Arrow. So them two shows are just awesome. They're on a break at the minute, which is kind of upsetting. I think they've just gone for a break for like a couple of weeks or something. It's slightly upsetting. I want them back now.
Do you remember the last season of Game of Thrones? They had, I think it was The Mountain and the Viper. No, the week before Mountain and Viper, there was like 2 weeks of no episodes, and it was the most gutting build-up ever.
Yeah.
You had like Oberon being the champion, and then nothing for 2 weeks. Awful.
Yeah. It was worth the wait.
But just go back to that. It's just like, if he wasn't such a cocky, like, if he just wasn't so like, oh yeah, I'm so good at fighting, look, you're on the floor, look, I've got you now, yeah, I'm gonna shank you now, like, I've got you, yeah, I just want you to admit what you did to my sister, and the Mountain's just like, no, I'm not going to admit nothing. I'm not doing nothing. And he just grabs his ankle and he's just like, yeah, you're dead now. Look, what's it all about? Like, if he just stabbed him as soon as he went down.
Well, there's that line in there where he's like, you're not even going to wear a helmet. And he's like, I don't need a helmet. I think you do, mate.
Yeah.
That's why your head's just been crushed.
You just knew that he was going to suffer a severe head injury.
I don't think any moment in any film or TV show has just crushed me as much as that. I was watching it. He's like,
as much as his head.
Yeah. That was Brandon's one-liner of the week. Hopefully there won't be many more. Yeah, no. Like, when I first watched it, he had him on the floor. He was winning, and I was like, yes, amazing, I love Oberon. And then as soon as he got grabbed and like got his face punched, that was awful. That was a Red Wedding moment for me, more than the Red Wedding.
The Red Wedding didn't shock me as much. I knew there was something dodgy about Walder Frey, and it just
I kind of knew everyone was like, Red Wedding, it's amazing, whereas no one had said it. My brother described the Mountain of the Viper before it happened as an epic moment, which makes me think the Mountain's gonna die, in like a big heroic way. And instead, my favourite character just got his head crushed. It's awful.
Joe actually spoiled that for Emily. Like, when they first met, they were talking about, like, Emily was like, oh, do you watch Game of Thrones? And Joe was like, no, it's not really my thing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then Emily was like, oh, yeah, it's really good, you should watch it, whatever. And then Joe's like, yeah, but I kind of spoiled it for myself because I kind of read a bit of the book where it's like, when they're all at a wedding and Emily was like, oh, which wedding is that then? And Joe's like, oh, I don't know, I think it's the one where everyone dies. And Emily was like, oh, yeah, I haven't got that far yet. So...
Little shout out to friends of the podcast, Joe and Emily there.
Yeah.
If they're listening. I don't know, I'm talking like we're actually on the air right now. Wherever you might be listening now, driving along the motorway.
That's what I was going to say as well. There's like a behind the scenes kind of thing of like when with the Viper and the Mountain fight. And it's it's in a bar, like, because in America, like, everyone just goes to like a bar and they're watching the bar and have like a couple of beers and like some nachos, and like there's just this like it's a camera and it's just sweeping like to like across like the bar and everyone's sat there and everyone's like, oh, like when he's winning. And then like when he gets dragged to the floor, everyone's like, oh, and like everyone just goes like really like quiet and everyone's like really like shocked at what's happening, and
your
like
breath just went in it. It's like
and then everyone was just like kind of shocked at what's just happened. Like, he's just had his head crushed and everyone's like, oh wow, like,
did you ever see the Red Wedding reactions?
One guy like at the front, like stood like right near the camera, and the camera just sweeps past and he's just there, just stone faced, like he doesn't know what's just happened. Like he's still in shock. Like his face just did not move.
Have you seen any of the Red Wedding reactions? There's some amazing YouTube ones. Some like old guy watching it, and as like everyone's just being killed off, he's just like, oh shit. So, and then at the end, it's just like, that's why I love this show.
I kind of wasn't expecting that. Like, I know that I should have been expecting something. It's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, you should expect
it. You
don't want
the good ones. But, see, I'm annoyed because I spent my last year reading my books. I'm a slow reader. I finally got through them all. And about 2 days after I read them, there was an interview with George R. R. Martin. He was like, yeah, we're just changing the books now. If you read the book, it doesn't matter. It's all going to change. I was angry.
Wow.
So now I'm still probably going to be crushed. Just as long as I get rid of the shit characters from a book, I'll be fine.
Yep.
I started watching that Marvel's Agent Carter. Like I watch Agents of Shield, which I quite like.
I watched the very first episode and I was so bored by it. I just thought I can't watch this.
It's kind of boring, but it's kind of one of those shows, you know, like when like Better Call Saul's not on or something like that.
Yeah.
You've just kind of got that like just built up. It's just
like
you just kind of leave it like
background.
Yeah, it's like a rainy day kind of like safe.
Yeah,
so
if
you've got nothing to watch, like when Better Call Saul or like The Arrow or something like that just kind of goes off air for like a week, like they have an holiday or something, you've kind of got that there just like building up. Well, I watched like Agents of Shield and I kind of enjoy it. I mean, I'm not saying it's amazing, but I do enjoy it. And like Marvel's Agent Carter is just terrible. It's terrible. Like to join in with like that. I mean, I know that Agents of Shield isn't good.
Yeah.
But Agent Carter it's kind of good in its own right. But do you know who is in it?
Go on.
Lee Ashby the guy who plays Lee Ashby.
Oh, Christ. Lee Ashby in Broadchurch.
He plays, what's his name? The butler for Tony Stark. You know, he's Jarvis. He plays Jarvis as a real person. It is amazing to watch it. Like from the transition from Broadchurch to Agent Carter.
I mean,
is amazing.
I mean, we'll talk a bit more about Broadchurch because you haven't seen the last episode yet.
No, I need to go home and I need to watch
So next week, I mean, Pause, you're lucky because you avoided watching it.
Yeah.
But you should watch it.
The first series is good. First series good little thriller.
Second series is kind of alright.
I hate it, but we'll save that.
I mean, then again, I can't really talk because I haven't seen the ending.
Yeah.
So unless the ending completely distorts the whole season, like
I
kind of enjoy the second season a little bit because it's just kind of like one of those things like you think it's all cleared up in the first season and then they come back at you and it's just like, oh no. But then I guess they kind of ruined it because they got greedy and they wanted to bring it back.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about Broadchurch when you see the ending because I have a lot of strong opinions on Broadchurch. I was not happy about it. You mentioned Better Call Saul. We're all watching. What's everyone thinking?
I think it's amazing.
Without ruining it for Brandon, which should be the name of this podcast.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No spoilers. You've already spoiled all of Game of Thrones.
So next week, like you won't even recognise me. I will be spoiling stuff for you.
He'll have seen every single film ever made.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, without ruining it for the new one, for Brandon.
I'm sorry.
It was interesting to see
Mike,
a different side to
Mike. Jonathan Banks. Great actor.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good just being Mike, you know, as Saul described him, the sad mackerel eyes, you know, a bit angry old man. But, you know, he does some proper acting in most recent episode, and it is awesome.
Is Mike the centre of, like, attention, like, in the
it's kind of got some, like, flashbacks and stuff like that. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's a great episode.
Like, as a fan, we're all big fans of Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
So this is sort of really, really satisfying finding out finally.
I mean, I'm amazed how good Better Call Saul is because I first watched it. I'm watching it with my mum, who I got into Breaking Bad, and she was like, "I'm not sure if I want to watch this because it might just be rubbish." That's kind
of my first impression of it.
First episode was good, but it was only the ending I thought that really kicked it over into something really good. Second episode better, and now it's just on a roll. It's just getting better and better. And Bob Odenkirk, I just love.
I love the character of Saul or Jimmy.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Go on.
You know when Tuco's at the end of the first episode?
Spoilers, yeah.
It's not because everyone should have seen it.
If
I've seen it,
screw you.
They should have seen it.
True.
We're not sorry.
That's the new limit. If you haven't seen it, we won't spoil it.
Yeah, but like. Tuco at the end of that, like is that the same actor from Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Because to me, like when he first like appeared on screen, I'm like, okay, I know that's Tuco, but it didn't look like the same character.
He's aged a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That's the problem with prequels.
Which is
when
weird.
you have the same actor, isn't it? He aged like 10 years ago, then got younger. It's like Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
It's like the one bit I haven't liked so far, you know the flashback with Saul where he had like long hair and a t-shirt to look younger, and it's like he doesn't look younger. He's just wearing a t-shirt. That's it. That was bad. I thought, but other than that, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I love the dynamic between Saul or Jimmy and Mike. I think they just work together. They're just together much in Breaking Bad because I don't really.
No, not really.
That pairing weren't together. You know, like you had like Walt and Jesse. Like they were together like all the time.
Yeah.
Like because obviously they were the main characters, but like you didn't have like Saul and Mike together. They weren't like the duo. It's like Saul had a problem, he'd call Mike, and then it kind of transitioned from Saul calling Mike to Mike like solving the problem. Like they were never on screen together, which is kind of upsetting to see how well they go together. Like now in
did you know that Mike wasn't meant to be a character?
Really?
Originally, because the first episode, it's the Jane episode, and he comes and cleans up for Jesse. Originally, that was meant to be Saul, but Bob Odenkirk couldn't show up, and Vince Gilligan was a fan of Jonathan Banks, so he was like, do you want to come and have like a cameo in it as a cleaner? And then he was so good, they kept him on it. So he shouldn't have been a character. It's amazing, isn't it?
That's
amazing.
Because
It's kind of got like
my
a full...
favourite characters. I loved Mike.
Yeah, I do love Mike.
So yeah, it's pretty great luck they found someone that good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, we talked about Better Call Saul, talked about the Oscars. And next week we're going to talk about Broadchurch once you've seen it.
Yeah.
And Paz, you're going to talk about David Lynch films, I think, a little bit next week.
I've just started being introduced to, so yeah, that'll be interesting.
So, really, just now, any films you've seen recently that you want to recommend or slag off?
Recommend was a film that you recommended to me, Line.
Great film.
Right, I hope.
Yeah, I never quite know. I'm just improvising.
Okay.
But if you haven't seen it, a little French film from the 90s, Vincent Cassel, who's in Black Swan, I think. It's what a lot of people know from.
Yeah.
Great film, sort of. A little bit Trainspotting-y, a little bit Mean Streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great film.
It's a stunningly shot film, isn't
Amazing,
it?
yeah.
Got some of the best cinematography I've ever seen. I would argue that.
Yeah, definitely. Brandon, you seen much this week?
Like I said, I've been watching a lot of TV shows.
Yeah.
I've not been watching a lot of films, but I am going to go home. I'm going to finish up all the series that I need to. I need to catch up on my TV series, and then at that point, I'm going to start watching all the blockbuster movies, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to describe them all to you next week, so you can tell me what you think of them.
Yeah, we've already agreed. Our friend Joe, another shout out to Joe there. He wants me to watch 50 Shades of Grey, so I can tell him how bad it is. So we've already agreed at some point we will watch that film. It might be a bit weird, us all three sat watching 50 Shades of Grey together. But
that'd be great. Get some popcorn, bit of lube. I mean,
what?
Jesus,
popcorn.
Not that kind of podcast.
Just popcorn.
Let's keep this clean. No, I'm going to need a lot of alcohol to get through 2 hours and 10 minutes of 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
My recommendations, I've seen quite a lot this week. West of Memphis, documentary produced by Peter Jackson about some teenagers who were arrested and charged with the murder of his 3 kids. It's basically about the effort to get them out of prison. There's Johnny Depp and some guys from Pearl Jam, and they all try and get them out. It's a really incredible documentary. 2.5 hours, but it feels like about an hour.
Were they not actually...
No, they were innocent, but
right.
It's never quite been decided who actually killed them. But it's incredible. It's really terrible story, injustice. And also Copland, I've been recommending to Paz. 90s film, which isn't really mentioned much, I think, because it's got people like Robert De Niro, Sylvester Stallone, Ray Liotta, Harvey Keitel, who all did bigger films in the 90s. It's a great film, probably Sylvester Stallone's best performance, maybe even over Rocky. Haven't decided it yet, wow. But great film. And I think that's about it. So
I'm just making this up right now, but I'm going to read a quote or an inspirational quote from my acid green notepad every week now. So this week's one is, a hedge between keeps friendships green. Oh, how's about a bit of that then?
I'm not sure I know what that means.
A
hedge between keeps friendships green.
Would a hedge not just separate people? And cut off
that's how I would.
That is the quote.
That's how I cut myself off from the neighbours, not make friends.
It's just a stylish fence.
Is there a better one to end this on a positive note?
Let me find this one. The love of green is the sign of an artistic temperament, and Oscar Wilde said that.
See, that's worrying, because I don't like green that much. Cheers, Oscar.
Yeah, way to make us
I'm not going to read anymore now, because if I read some
how have we gone from talking about Better Call Saul to me slagging off the most popular writer, one of the most popular writers of all time?
Because you can.
I think we need
It all started when you mentioned lube. We've gone downhill now.
Yes, we've gone downhill.
This is fun.
I'm sorry, audience.
Let's just wrap up on a decent note.
Yeah, okay. We'll see you next week.
Cheers for listening.
Lube.
Thanks, Brandon.